So I will go ahead and start off. This is our first Google Hangout with the new Batchbook. Thank you very much to the folks who have joined us. We may have a few more folks joining in the Hangout, and we have a few folks watching at home as well. So thank you. I'm going to be going through a number of different things. So just a couple things. If you are in the Hangout, I think I already mentioned this, but please go ahead and mute yourself, and just if you have a question, unmute yourself and ask then, or you can do it through the chat service. And we have a number of different Batchbook folks watching our Twitter stream and the Google Plus chat service and the YouTube chat service. So if anyone has questions, send them to any of those places, and they should make it back to me and hopefully get some fun and exciting answers. So what we're doing today is I'm going to go through and just talk a little bit about the reason that we rewrote Batchbook. This Hangout is really for our existing customers and our champions, so the folks that we've been working with over the past few years to build Batchbook. So I wanted to give you all a chance to see the new Batchbook, to see it as early as we could, and also just to hear a little bit about why we rewrote Batchbook, what we've done differently in the new app, give you a quick preview of some of the things coming, and then tell you a little bit about our future plans. So if you have any questions in any of those topics, feel free to send them up. So first off, why did we write Batchbook? We wrote the original app about 5 years ago, and one of the things that we really wanted to build into the Batchbook application is the simplicity of being able to really manage all the information happening around your network of customers, your network of partners, suppliers, see everything happening with them, but also really be able to tailor it to your individual business. So we were really aiming for keep the usability simple, but make the app very powerful. And as those of you who've been using Batchbook for a while know, I think we did a really good job of accomplishing both those things. It's very easy to get in, import people, bring people in from other applications, but there's also a lot of flexibility. You can set up super tags, you can customize out almost all of the information in Batchbook, the affiliations, the addresses, the locations, the super tags themselves, everything can be customized. Well, what happens is when you decide to take that type of approach, that very holistic approach to data management, is you don't necessarily understand when you start the project where you're going to end up. And so it was a learning process for us, building the original Batchbook, setting up the back end, the front end. And what we found after 5 years of learning is there's a lot of things we would have done differently in the beginning had we known then what we knew now. And so what we decided to do about a year ago was rewrite the application. We were finding that there were a lot of places where it was slowing people down. The application itself was slower than we wanted it to be. We've done a lot of work to optimize it, but there are just things that really fundamentally needed to be redone to really make it a better app for everyone. And one of the things that we found was one of the things that was really taxing the existing Batchbook system was the new accounts that were being created in Batchbook. Again, because of the customization we allow, we essentially are building a new database for every new account that comes into our system. It's a very taxing load in that beginning. So what we did was we launched Batchbook, the new Batchbook, as opposed to what we're now calling Classic Batchbook. We launched that new Batchbook as quickly as we can, mainly because we wanted to get those new customers off of the old system so they wouldn't be slowing up the system for our existing customers. So we have launched with a version that doesn't have all of the features yet, but it does have the core functionality, the core pieces that we could see were the things people were using in Batchbook the most. So, hi, we still have a few folks joining in. Welcome to the party. So we've launched the new Batchbook. We launched it a few weeks ago, and we are starting to do, as you will see, we're putting out a lot of resources. We have an intro to the new Batchbook webinar that we're doing every 2 weeks, is it, Melanie, that we do that one? We are starting to do blog posts. You'll see our first one about importing into the new Batchbook is up on our blog. We are starting to migrate folks that really are just using that very core functionality in the old system. We're starting to migrate some of them over to the new system. So you can start to see what's going on in the new Batchbook, but I wanted to take a chance, especially in a format that's a little more interactive, to show you some of what's going on so you can ask questions. Feel free to give us feedback. We welcome it either today through the comments, asking me a question. Feel free to email afterwards, tweet, friend, like, I don't know, you know all the ways that you can get in touch with us. So any questions so far? I'm seeing a couple of comments over here asking for integrations, which I will get to at the end. We are going to be doing a lot of integrations. So if nothing else, right away, I'm going to just show you some very quickly high-level parts in the new Batchbook. And let me get my screen shared, and then you will be able to see what I'm seeing. All right. Are you seeing it? All right. So this is the dashboard on the new Batchbook. And if you are an existing Batchbook account and you want to see the new Batchbook before actually permanently moving your site over, you can request to see your information in a demo version of it. Just write into support. There will be I believe a black bar across the top that says it's a demo version, so you know not to be actually using it. But you can request to see that. So there's a few things that we've done. There's actually a large number of changes that we've made, but a lot of them are small. We just had the opportunity to implement a lot of the smaller feature requests, so you'll see that. One of the things is in this welcome page, there's a lot more information on how to get yourself set up and how to use Batchbook. There's also, as you can see, as in the old Batchbook, the ability to customize out what you're seeing here. My favorite feature in the new Batchbook, something very near and dear to my heart, is the concept that we call champions. And you all probably received some information recently about the Champions program. But what it is, in Batchbook, we've now given you the ability to mark any of your contacts as a champion. And the way you do that is going into, this is a preview of their contact information. You can mark them as a champion by just highlighting that star. You can also, as always in Batchbook, perform a batch action. So if you selected a bunch of people, you can mark them all as a champion. You can also go into this More button next to someone's name will take you into the full details for that person. And within that page, you can also mark them as a champion. And what that star does for you within the Batchbook application, first of all, you can filter. So when you're in your contacts, you can see just your champions. But it also gives you the ability, if you go into some of the other areas of your Batchbook account, this is the Communications tab. So again, all of your emails, notes, anything you forwarded in by Batchbox, There will soon be some information from integrations in here. If you filter these communications on champions, you will just see any emails involving those people that you've marked as champions. And then again, the same thing in the to-dos feature. You can see all of the to-dos you have outstanding or that anyone on your team has outstanding. I could see everything assigned to all users, but I only want to see assignments that are involving my champions. So this is a great way to really focus in on those people in your network that you know are really engaged, they really support your business, they want to get involved, they want to help you spread the word, they want to give you feedback on your product, really making sure that you are supporting them and you're giving them all the tools that they need by making sure you're communicating with them regularly, you're following up quickly. It's really just a way to help all of our customers focus in on their important customers. And then the one last thing with champions, you can also search. So you could build a list of almost anything involving a champion. So you can say, give me a list of anyone who is a champion and, using our custom fields, it can be anyone who attended today's Hangout that is a champion, anyone who has red hair that is a champion, anyone who, is almost any information, anyone who I have not communicated with in the past month who is a champion. You can build any list based on that. So that's our new champions feature. Something else I want to just show you quickly. You all may remember super tags from the original Batchbook. We have changed super tags. We are now calling them custom fields. They are here under the drop down under your name. If you click on your name, you will see custom fields. They work very much like super tags, except they are not attached to a tag. They are their own standalone function. Just makes it a little bit easier for people to understand what that custom field set is. Within contacts, you can add these custom fields, and this is what's particularly exciting. We'll pretend that Jane Austen attended our Hangout today. I created a custom field set called Hangouts so that we can say, yep, she attended the August 16th Hangout. Yes, she attended it. No, she did not ask any good questions. No, she did not compliment my hair. Now, the exciting part about this, you can now add multiple of the same custom field sets to a contact. So if Jane happens to come to the next Hangout, which actually I think it's going to be a webinar, but for the purposes of this demo, we'll say there's going to be a Hangout in September where we're going to talk just about the migration process. If Jane happens to attend that one, we can collect the same information. She did ask good questions, she learned her lesson and complimented my hair. So now we have multiple of that custom field set. So it's much easier to track that information about your customers that's going to repeat. So their attendance functions, projects you may have going on with them, deals that you may have going on with them, all of those types of things are much easier to track with these custom field sets. And the exciting thing is that you can also add these custom field sets to communications. So you have the same options, or to to-dos. So you can create to-dos that are to, follow up with someone who requested to be in a Hangout and make sure that you're collecting all the information about them, from them about that task. So we've really extended the flexibility of those custom fields in a way that we wanted to. Just a couple of other very quick things, and then I will turn it over to any questions. We now have, and actually, the the ability, when you're importing, one of the things that we found is that a lot of people are coming to Batchbook from spreadsheets. And even if you're not starting with spreadsheets, everyone has spreadsheets hanging around, whether it's them, the people they're working with, and sharing that information is really hard because it's all very custom information. And what's difficult is having to manipulate it yourself to get it into Batchbook. So what we've done is made that process easier by when you upload a spreadsheet from Batchbook now, it will go in. I've already started a sample one in my browser here. If you go and just pick, I was actually using the, I have a sample spreadsheet here. There it is, my sample import. You have the same choices. You can merge it in by email or name, or both email and name. You can just bring all of the information in, or you can merge it with your existing contacts. And again, you can tag it. And once you preview that, it will go in and create a field mapping screen like this. So now you can, any information that was in your spreadsheet, you can map it over to either the contact fields, or if you have all sorts of other information, which most people do, in your Batchbook account, it will map it. It will give you the ability to map. So it's finding here in my spreadsheet there was a column for advertiser. So now I need to go in and map that to one of my custom fields in Batchbook and figure out where that information should go. So we're pretty excited about this feature, and we'll continue to work to make it a lot easier to get all of this custom information into Batchbook. I think that's about it for the very high level highlights in the new system. I guess I will throw it out and see if there's any questions, and then get a little bit into some of the things that we're going to be doing in the future. So the import will recognize duplicates. That's one of the questions is, will the import recognize our duplicates? It will recognize duplicates. One of the things we are working on now is a tool for the account owners and administrators on the site to also have more tools for removing duplicates from your system. That's one of the things that we hear about a lot, especially as you start integrating your account with other systems. So you're bringing in data from from a few different spreadsheets, and from your email marketing account, and from your invoicing account, and it's nice to be able to remove all those duplicates. Let's see, Peter, any way to do a template for importing? That's a very good suggestion, and something we've looked at. Basically being able to, once you've mapped all of those fields, it remembering that file, basically seeing that spreadsheet again and saying, yeah, I know where all these fields go to. It does do a lot of smart mapping itself. As you noticed, I had not gone in and mapped those fields that were already mapped, those contacts fields. It will look, and if it does recognize some similarities, if it says first name and the other one says first _ name, it will recognize that those map, but it won't. But it still gives you the option to change it if it's not understanding that correctly. Let's see. I'm getting notes passed to me too. I can. Let's see. So I'm going to unscreen share. For some reason, the team here thinks that it will be more fun to watch me than the screen when I'm answering questions, so you can see the excitement in my eyes when I tell you about the things that are coming. Let's see. let's see. So Peter, you have a question. I need a workaround for, all right. I get to watch you type and see what, I'm not quite understanding your question. I need a workaround for a disconnected user, i.e. Google Contacts, in the installed mobile app. Um, this may be a support issue. I'm not sure. Oh, you're not when you're offline. I gotcha. Yes. Yes, he confirms. Yes, we are, we're basically readdressing our mobile strategy. That's one of the other things that we really wanted to take a look at and sort of start from scratch. And we will likely be releasing some very light web version of the mobile app. But then we're looking at what our strategy is for doing native apps, and do we do some offline version, that sort of thing. So we're looking at that. Part of what we're trying to do right now is gather information. One of the other things I should mention that we are working on right now, a few different things. One is the integrations. We've built the new Batchbook to be very aggressive, I guess I should say, in allowing outside integrations. It's really going to give us an opportunity to build out integrations with some of the other, email marketing apps, accounting apps, form building, survey, all sorts of different apps that we know have a huge impact on your relationship with your customers and with your network. And it really will be helpful to collect as much of that information as we can. So we are working now to really facilitate the rapid deployment of lots of different integrations. We already have, Ray, how many? 5 or 6 integrations that we've already gotten hooked up, and we will be quickly adding to those. So we are releasing the API. I see a question. The question is just API. So if you're asking, do we have our API yet? We are releasing the API and the documentation for our API as quickly as we can. We've got most of the API for the existing features. We are still working on a few new features, including our deals feature. But right now we do have Contacts API. We're about to release the Communications API. We do have Custom Fields API, some of those things. But we are releasing it and the documentation. Ray, who you can raise your hand, Ray. Thank you. Ray is our VP of Marketing, and he is in charge of our relationship with all of our integration partners. So if you are interested in partnering on anything, he's the guy. Just knock on the window next to you like that. and Ray can answer your questions. And Ray says we have 6 integrations so far on the new Batchbook. And MailChimp is actually, the first part of MailChimp is up, where we will be rolling out some more functionality in the MailChimp integration. And more integrations are coming every week, and that is our goal, to have integrations each week. And really, we're working very hard with those partners, not only to roll out integrations, but to do a lot of education around what types of things you can do with these integrations, how you can use them. So we're excited about that. And thank you. It's good news. We are working on, as I said, we're currently rolling out the MailChimp integration. Next will be an accounting solution. So we're working on that one and just had a couple meetings. We will probably do an e-commerce Actually, we're also doing web forms, FormStack. I think it's FormStack and Batchbook week. What, next week? Week after that, where we will be launching all the educational information we're doing around the integrations as well. Week after next, yes. But please let us know if you have requests. I saw a request earlier in the stream for the accounting package that we are doing, so that will be good news, whoever asked for that. So, yes. Any other questions? I think we're right at 2:30, but I think that's, oh, Google. Yes, we are working on, there are so many things to be done with Google. Probably the priority is on Google Contacts and Google Calendar. Our plan is to do a pretty extensive integration with Google Calendar rather than rewriting the calendar in our system. Right now, the new Batchbook does not have a calendar feature, but calendaring system is such an integral part of everyone's day-to-day routine. We'd rather integrate with the Google Calendar rather than rebuilding that. And yes, part of Google will be single sign-on. That was a question as well. So I like the Google shirt. You're representing. So I think, yeah. Let's see. Melanie has a question. Do you have recommendations for handling nicknames? They record official birth names, but also want nicknames. I would say custom fields is your best bet. We now have the ability to make a custom field global, which means I will actually share this with you very quickly so you can see. In your Batchbook account, we could, I'll show you quickly how to do it. I would create a new custom field set that is nickname. And then we will make it global across all people. So every time someone comes up here and adds a person, it's going to ask for this name. So nickname. We'll make it a short text field. So now, when I add a new person, right now we do not have the ability to put it up here. You know, you can't rearrange this form, but you do have this nickname field, and it will be every single time anyone adds a new person anywhere in the system, it will ask for nickname. So all of your users will be able to supply nickname as well as, you know, the first, middle, last name. We are looking at ways to either rearrange this or even make it required so that you could force people to supply that information that you know your company is going to need. But for now, you can very quickly and easily get that into all your forms. Let's see, Melanie's laughing, so I'm guessing there's. Oh, okay. Oh, Peter. Oh, wow, nice. You're his Google sign. Yeah, you're Mr. Google. I'm gonna change your name. Screen share and go back. Nice. Any other questions? I think that is it. I've gone a few minutes over the allotted time, but I wanted to make sure I got all the questions answered. So thank you guys so much for attending the Hangout and being the guinea pigs on our first try with a Google Hangout. I think it went pretty well, and I'm really excited to keep sharing. As I said, we are going to be blogging as we're building out more educational information about all these new features. So please take a look. A lot of these features are already in Batchbook, but we're just putting together all the materials around it. We also have a newsletter for signing up just to hear about the new things as they are released. And if you write into support, write into Melanie right over there, and just say you would like to receive information about any new features as they're being released. It's a weekly email that will just list out the new things being added in Batchbook. And again, we always do the monthly or quasi-monthly newsletter, which also will highlight the big integrations and the big features being released. So thank you all so much for coming and for asking questions. And no one gets the complimenting my hair checkbox in Batchbook, so I'll try to do a better job at that next time. Thank you all. Bye.